Happy Halloween, my beautiful friends. Get to know some things about me via some Halloween themed questions and also revisiting a spooky palette, the Nomad Ghost Town USA. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia here on my channel. I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, tag videos where I answer some questions. You get to know me, and also palette bingo where I revisit an old palette. All sorts of fun things. That's what I do. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. Okay, you guys, my sweet friend from Dub's Beauty Diary reached out to me via Instagram and said, hey, I know you have the Nomad Cosmetics Ghost Town USA palette. Do you want to join this tag video where we just create a look where we use the Ghost Town USA palette, or she said you could use any older spooky season palette, and palette bingo style, and then also answering these fun Halloween questions. And I believe this was created by Melissa Nataline. And I said, yes, like I'll fit that in. That sounds fun. And so she sent the questions over. I have 13 to answer. I bet they chose 13 on purpose, like Friday the 13th. I bet they did, just to go along with the spooky season theme. I glanced at these questions, but I didn't go back and revisit them, and I didn't think about them. So I'm just going to be off the cuff answering them as I go, just so you get my real raw answers from these. Also, I will tell you guys, so here's my Ghost Town USA. I already created my look. Here it is. I actually really loved it. I did do the palette bingo for this look. I thought I just wanted to kind of create it off camera where I could really just focus on the questions and be relaxed. So I'm gonna pop in a video over here. I recorded just myself doing it in a style that'll probably go on TikTok because I edited it to a minute long. But I wanted to talk about the palette real quick before I get into the questions, because I do know that this is still available. Some people were purchasing it this spooky season. I do have a video on this, actually a dedicated video that I did. I got it in PR last year. And so all my honest thoughts are in that video if you guys want to go revisit it and take a look if you're interested in buying it. My opinion after using it today still kind of stays the same. I kind of remembered like, oh yeah, that's why I thought that. I love this palette. I love how it looks on. You can get some gorgeous looks. It pulls very blue on me. So if you will notice, these two rows look very green. They pull blue. Even these that look green pull blue on me. It doesn't mean every skin tone will. When I did my palette bingo, I got Quicksilver, this shimmer. I decided to do 6. There wasn't a rule about how many shades, but I almost always use 5 or 6 shades in every look, unless I'm going ultra minimalistic. So I did 6. So I got Quicksilver, Skinner's Saloon, then I got Bandit Queen, Calamity Jane, Stagecoach Mary, and Copper Penny. So I got 4 mattes and 2 shimmers, which worked out pretty nicely. And this is a different look than what I did when I first tested it out and used it. So that's what's so fun about palette bingo. This shade Stagecoach is what is blended into the blue. Doesn't it just look blue? Like, I don't know if it pulls blue on everyone, but on me, it definitely does. So in my review, whenever I got this palette and I did my looks on camera, I just kind of cautioned that if you're expecting a wide variety, this might all kind of pull similar on you like it did on me. And then like Bandit Queen looks straight up brown in here. It's on my lower lash line and it's so purpley. So there's something about the tone of these that pull very cool toned bluish gray on me personally. But I do really like the quality of this palette. I don't mind because I think the looks are beautiful. In my video that I did when I reviewed it, to kind of change things up, I used a black base for the shimmers to make them really pop. And then I exaggerated that black. So I got a very different look from what's just in the palette. That's how to kind of make it more varied, more variety in the palette. But I do recommend this palette. And then you have the really cool cover too. that changes, which is so freaking cool. Like Nomad kills it with their details. All right, but so now let's just get into the questions. So if you want to just get to know a little bit about me, you know, that's it for the beauty. I'm just going to chit chat for a second. So, do you get scared easily? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. I am someone that can walk into a dark room. I used to be probably not cautious enough about, you know, if someone was like in my house. I mean, when I lived by myself in my late teens, early 20s, I was the type that slept with my window open on a first floor of an apartment building so that I didn't have to pay bills. I'm called Budget Beauty for a reason, you guys. I was like, if I can cut corners, I'm paying for something. So yeah, I would just sleep with my bedroom window open at night, which now is a little bit bonkers to me. So I'm not scared of things like that. After having kids, I got a little bit more of a scaredy pants. Like I'm just more so afraid of situations that might harm them. I don't want to bring anything scary to them. Although, I mean, we like scary movies and things like that. But I'm talking about, like, I don't want to put them in dangerous situations. Things like that is more so what scares me now. What scares you the most? That is a really good question and really hard, because if I'm thinking silly things, it's clowns, and spiders. Clowns and spiders. But I have gotten over clowns a little bit in doing all of this, because I see so many clown looks, and some of them are my friends who have awesome makeup skills, and I'm over there like, you're an awesome clown. And 15-year-old me would have never said that. I thought all clown, like, no, I would have hated you if you were a clown. So I've kind of gotten over it a little bit, but in real life, a clown walks up to me, I'm running away, or he's getting kicked in the crotch. Like, no. Spiders, scary. As far as like overall life things, just fear of something happening to my kids is definitely what I'm scared of most. Okay, what is your favorite Halloween tradition? Well, we're kind of doing that this evening, actually, in my household. So it's not really Halloween, but we call it camping. I am a glamping type of girl. I am not a camping girl. So when we say camping in our household, what we mean is we have a fire in a fire pit in our backyard. We do the music. We'll have the speaker out there. So my husband and I have a playlist. We'll take turns. We'll play, you know, Halloween. We'll play Thriller, Ghostbusters, songs like that. And then we roast marshmallows and s'mores. And then we take turns telling scary stories. And mine are always the best. They are really, really freaky. And I've got this whole saga going on for the past 4 years about Phineas and this leprechaun that's been after him and his toes for years. So I gotta think of my story tonight. But it gets a little gruesome. Like sometimes by the end, at least my kids are getting older now, but back when they were younger, I was like, maybe that was a little too scary. Sorry. So that's our tradition. We're doing that this evening. All right. What's your go-to Halloween candy? Well, I'm one of those annoying people that doesn't really eat candy. I know, so lame, so lame. But it's more for health reasons. And I don't mean like health body looking good. I just mean like sugar and I don't mix well, caffeine and I don't mix well. It really sets my body off in a really bad way. But occasionally I will indulge in some Sour Patch Kids. I love a sour, chewy candy. And then I do like Red Vines or Twizzlers. So those would probably be mine. Have you ever done a couple's costume or a group costume? Well, I get trumped all the time. I like aimed to do groups with my kids when they were little. I was like, oh, we're gonna all do this. And I would come up with a theme, and inevitably it would never happen. My kids have always had opinions about what they want to be, even at a very, very young age. So it's never really worked out for me. Plus my husband drags his feet. He never gets a costume in time, and I'm a big costume girl. So the answer is no. Well, actually, I take that back. My oldest and he was a Power Ranger, and I was a Power Ranger one time. Oh, and my husband was a Power Ranger, so I guess we did. But then my baby, or my middle child, was before I had my last one, he was a Dalmatian. So we were a family of Power Rangers with a pet Dalmatian. Let's see. Are you superstitious? I am not superstitious as far as I don't think there's necessarily like a lucky number. I don't have to have my hair styled a certain way or wearing a certain sock, this or that. So in that way, no. I do believe you can invite like spirits into your realm, into your world and your household by doing certain things, bringing certain things in your house that I don't dabble in personally. So I do believe that. Do you believe in ghosts? I do. Well, maybe not ghosts, but like I said, spirits and bad spirits. I do believe in that. And I have the whole story about the house we lived in before this house was 1000% haunted. I didn't believe it. I thought my husband was crazy. I thought my oldest child was crazy. I even thought my aunt was crazy and my best friend at the time. All of them had lots of experiences and I thought they were all nuts until we moved out and it was the last day of moving into this house and I had to go back to the old house to grab some things. Nobody else was there. The house had been open all day long. And I walk in, set my stuff on the counter in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I started hearing feet just like coming up the basement. My first thought is somebody is in the house because the house has been open and we've been moving. So I just jetted, left my purse sitting on the counter. I had my phone in my hand, so I called my husband. He was like, look in all the windows. So I'm like looking and I was like, I don't see anything. Maybe I'm crazy. So I think I can run back in and grab my purse. So I run in and as soon as I grab my purse, I heard every door in the house slam, like all over the house. That is the day I believed that that house was haunted. I have a much longer story about everything that happened in that house according to the rest of the people. That is a tale for another time. Okay, have you ever been to a haunted house, real or entertainment? Well, that was a haunted house. I lived in one. For real, I lived in one. Favorite horror monster or villain? You know, I love Freddy. I know that's kind of like basic and boring, but I grew up in the Freddy era. It was a movie that I was too young to watch it when I was young. It was kind of this lore and like I, would hear about it, see about it, hear kids sing the song, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, all that. It's terrified when I was little and people would dress up like Freddy. And then but I wanted to watch it so bad. Once I got a little bit old enough to like sneak watch it on like TNT on TV or USA and they would cut out like the bad parts. I was watching it all the time. I was obsessed with it. So I'm gonna say Freddy. Do you prefer gore or thriller? Thriller. Actually, I'm not a big gore person. Like with that new Chuckles, what's his name? Clown, Terrifier out at, his name's not Chuckles. I don't know what his name is. I do know, but I can't think of it right. Anyway, I don't like the torture and it's just, I don't know. Like, why am I watching this? Some people love it and that's great for you. I am definitely more of a thriller girl. I want the built suspense. I want like a mystery involved. Like that is what I prefer. Have you ever played with a Ouija board? No, I have not. Like I say, inviting stuff into your house, it's not something that we do. If you partake in that, I've always been someone that like what you do in your home is your business. We can still be friends. I'm not one to like ice people out over what they choose to do in that way. For me and my house, we do not play with the Ouija board. I just don't want whispers in my ear when I go to bed at night, okay? What was your favorite Halloween costume as a kid and why? You know what? I've never thought about this, but I think I'm gonna say my mermaid costume because my mom made it and it was really pretty. Like the tail was this emerald green and then I wore a shirt, like a long sleeve white shirt, and then she had, I think ironed on the shells, and I think they were kind of iridescent, if I remember correctly. And I just thought it was so pretty and that my mom made it. So that was probably my favorite. Be honest, do you really only take one piece of candy if the sign says only take one? Well, so when I was little, I probably would have taken 2 if I could. I probably would have snuck just 1 more. But my story about our own house is, it was a couple of years ago. So we go trick or treat. We take our kids in our neighborhood. Our neighborhood kind of goes all out, and we love that about this place. So we go trick or treat, and we don't want to be the like grumpy old people on the corner that don't have candy because we're not home. So we leave a bucket out, and my husband always, every year, he types up a sign and tapes it on there, and it says take only 1, please. Well, it never happens. But one year we literally were walking into our house as we heard screeching tires, and we go and open up the front door, and we are completely wiped clean. We had come back a little before that and refilled it, so we know it was full. And we see a van, like we lived in a cul-de-sac, and so we see the van like, yeah, we got it. And it was the parents driving the van, and we're like, seriously? Like, we get it if you were like some punk A teenagers, but like these parents were like giggling, like we stole the candy, like what? So they definitely don't take 1, but that is my little story about that. That is it, you guys. That is it for this little tag collab, and I thank my dear friend for asking me to do this with everyone. I think that I think she's gonna have a playlist. I'm not sure how it's all gonna play out at the time that I'm filming this, but if you go subscribe to her, I think she might have a playlist or something where you can see everyone that's involved in this video. And I just think it's fun. It helps you get to know people. You know, sometimes when we're doing our, you know, just focused on makeup, or if I'm focused on fragrance, I don't get to always just talk about me and my opinions and who I am. So I think this was, so I hope that you enjoyed this style of video, and that I didn't do the makeup look on camera. Sorry about that. But I hope you have a wonderful, happy Halloween. Don't let the spookies get you. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.